A mother's kiss. In Soviet Russia, it was forbidden for a Jew to have a bris, a ritual circumcision, performed on his newborn son. The punishment for having an infant son circumcised was immediate layoff from work, with the possibility of subsequent criminal charges, trials, and perhaps even a jail sentence. For this reason, the great majority of Jewish boys born in Soviet Russia remained uncircumcised. Nevertheless, some Jews took the risk of gathering a few highly trusted friends and having the bris performed clandestinely. Although a bris should be performed on the 8th day of a child's life, many times parents wait 3 weeks, 3 months, or even 6 months before they can accomplish what is for them a risky mitzvah. For the first few weeks after the birth of a son, parents can almost feel the presence of the authorities, and no hint of a bris can even be mentioned. The family watches not only for officials, but for friends who might actually be informers. In one particular town, there was a trusted minion of people whom the Schleider family wished to invite to their son's bris. They were discreet, dependable, and responsible people. They would never betray a family, and no police authority could get any information from them. Often, it was one of these men who advised the family when it was safe to have the bris. The Schleider boy was almost a year old, and he had not yet been circumcised. Suddenly, the atmosphere became a bit less tense, and Mr. Schleider was informed that it was safe to have the bris. The mohel was called, the guests gathered in a basement, and the child was brought there to have his bris. The bris was performed, the proper blessings were recited, and everyone wished each other mazel tov. The child was then brought back to the room where his mother was waiting for him. Suddenly there was a piercing scream, a wail, and a cry. And there was a thud as though someone had fallen to the floor. Pandemonium broke out as people ran into the room where the mother lay in a dead faint. After they revived her, she told an incredible story. The young mother had feared that her son might never have a bris, and that she would be lulled into negligence because of her fear of the authorities, that she might capitulate to fear and not have the bris at all. She was determined not to let that happen to herself, and she undertook something that would compel her to long for the bris, to make it paramount in her mind at all times. She vowed not to kiss her son until he had had his bris. For close to a year, she had suffered the pent-up emotions that only a mother can feel. Finally, after the bris, she had taken her son into her aching arms and kissed him fervently. Overcome with emotion, she had fainted.